calling the 92%, calling the 92%. I'm looking for organizers, community activists, community advocates, grassroots organizers, anybody that's minded their business. We need a coordinated response to Target, at Starbucks, etc. And we need to keep a tabulation of other corporations that want to get on that bandwagon and think they're going to send us a message. No, we have a message for you. I want to see regional captains in every state across America. We need to get this coordinated. We need a unified response to what they are telling us. Because trust me, what we say back, they will not like, but they'll get the message. Hit my DM. I'm from Pennsylvania. Enough is enough. No more talking, no more anger, no more anything. Action, action. That's all folks understand. Coordinated action.
Ever since Trump's move to disband DEI initiatives, it has been a lot of commotion. You've seen Black Americans rallying together, looking to boycott and work against companies that have disbanded their DEI initiatives.
Our position has been, we announced on Martin Luther King holiday in a big rally we had in Washington, that we're going to, in 90 days, release a boycott list all over the country. But in the interim, we're going to do a boycott. We're going to go and support those that support diversity. And you must remember, these DEI programs are not only for Blacks, it's for LGBTQ, it's for disabled, it's for veterans. So our position is very simple. If you do not want to commit that you will have diversity in your workforce, diversity on your board, diversity on your C-suite, then why would you want to have diversity among your consumers? If Mr. Trump and his supporters can tell you you cannot make sure that you have a diversified workforce, then they can't make a law to make us shop and spend our money where we're guaranteed that there's going to be fairness. Diversity programs started because there was bias against those communities. Now you're going to tell me, when we're trying to correct the bias, that you're going to penalize the companies? No, I don't think so.
You've seen celebrities such as Tabitha Brown come out and plead that Black Americans still continue to support Black-owned businesses and not pull the resources from companies. You see Black people more and more basically really rethinking where their dollars are going to and the kind of companies that they are supporting. Now, on the other hand, you have Black Americans who are against DEI, largely because statistically it just simply didn't benefit them, or if anything, benefits them the last.
So I just got on my computer right here and I researched who benefit the most from DEI. It's white women. Y'all are doing, Black people are at the bottom of the list. People who actually thought that Black people benefited the most from DEI are literal DEI hires. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
DEI did not benefit Black people en masse. That law was about immigrants and rainbow gangers. It was not about Black people.
So as we can see, there are different views with respect to DEI, even in the Black community. But by and large, the overwhelming majority at least support DEI or do see the disbanding of DEI as a precursor of things to come over the next few years. But one thing that I can say that I have noticed is the marked difference between Black women and Black men regarding their sense of safety and security around DEI initiatives, and ultimately governmental support. And the main reason for that is because DEI, statistically, not only does it benefit Black people the least, it benefits Black men the least of all. And not only DEI, when you look at governmental programs and governmental assistance, Black men are the bottom of the totem pole. And what I have found in situations like this is when the government removes things, takes things, add things, Black men seem to be some of the least unbothered because they know that they inherently have never benefited from this. And I alluded this into my previous video, but I wanted to break down a little bit more. When you look at Dr. Hasan Johnson's book, right, Solutions for Anti-Black Misandric, he goes into great detail about the amount of programs that have been made available to women, the amount of programs that have been available also to Black women, And there's not one program in there that I saw specific to Black male. There were dozens upon dozens upon dozens, if not hundreds upon hundreds of programs that were available to giving women assistance, whether it be in housing, with their kids, with their education, with grants, with different things. But there was not one policy, from what I could tell, that was specifically for the benefit or the empowerment of Black men. However, there have been countless for Black women. And so because this dynamic has been going on for decades, particularly since the civil rights era and feminism, because of that, it's created, in my opinion, a different understanding and a different level of trust with respect to the government. Black women, by and large, are used. There's a culture that's been cultivated where Black women know that they can turn to the government for certain resources, for help or assistance if they don't have men in their life, which is why single motherhood continues to be a main staple in culture, because there are programs now that help support women doing it by themselves. Whereas for Black men, those programs just simply do not exist. And because of that, there is this understanding, from what I could perceive, that Black men have innately, that they have to do it by themselves without the assistance of the government. And that if it's going to be done, it's going to be by their own merit, by the works of their own hands, and by the power of God. But it's not going to be done by a handout. And so this is why, from what I can perceive, there is a big difference on not only how Black women and Black men have responded over Trump's reelection, but even when it comes to these different policies and how it's impacting their day-to-day life. Because Black men have, quite frankly, just been not as dependent upon government support or government handouts. And so it's just simply not going to impact them on the same level that it might Black women. And while we do understand Black women still don't receive the level of assistance other minority women do, nevertheless, they do generally have more assistance, a lot more assistance and a lot more handouts and benefits from the government than do Black men. And that creates a disparity when it comes to these kinds of conversation, and could also be why it may seem as if Black men may come across as apathetic or uncaring. And I think some of it is just simply because it never impacted them to begin with. Now, I obviously understand that systematic racism is real and that there are initiatives such as, affirmative action before that was disbanded, DEI. These programs say that they're about trying to mitigate some of these different changes and some of these inequities. And so I am all for finding ways to mitigate the inequities that still exist today in the American system. But I think it's also okay to be honest about the way these things actually work and the reality and how many of these programs somehow end up benefiting Black people the last, and particularly Black men the last. And what that means as far as Black people moving forward, so that they are able to prosper. But anyways, guys, those are my thoughts. What do you guys think on this whole topic? Let me know down in the comment section. And thanks so much for listening. If you've gotten this far, be sure guys to check me out on Patreon. Also, I have members only content there. And also you can become a channel member on YouTube, where I have exclusive content. And we'll talk later. Okay, bye.